Hi, and welcome to Lesson 1.3 of the Life Skills and Leadership Curriculum. My name is Kyle Oakes, and I'm the founder and lead instructor for the Life Skills and Leadership community. In Lesson 1.3 of Module 1, we seek to develop a better understanding of the differences between transactional and transformational leadership. While the majority of organizations today rely on transactional leadership, we'll explore how transformational leadership can improve long-term leadership effectiveness. This lesson explains how the psychological contract serves as the basis for transactional leadership. We'll look at how organizations relying on transactional leadership use the allocation of rewards to gain compliance from individuals. We will highlight the challenges to transactional leadership. We'll also identify how transformational leadership seeks to connect individuals to organizational vision, values, and purpose. Finally, we finish this lesson by looking at the common challenges to transformational leadership. In Lesson 1.3, we begin by comparing and contrasting transactional leadership with transformational leadership. We will begin by gaining a better understanding of transactional leadership, which is the most common form of leadership experienced by individuals today. Transactional leadership relates to a concept known as the psychological contract, which refers to the unwritten mutual expectations created between an employer and an employee regarding a fair balance between inputs and outcomes during employment. Individuals and organizations enter into an employment relationship with unwritten, mutually agreed upon expectations of one another. This psychological contract is expected to be equitable for both parties. Most of us have experienced the psychological contract naturally as an employee when we join an organization. Expectations or assumptions made about the organization by the individual consist of things like the work environment will be safe, fair compensation will exist for the work performed, and they'll be treated with respect, and the job description will be accurate. Expectations and assumptions made about the individual by the organization consists of things like the individual will be reliable, they'll possess the skills to perform quality work, they'll get along with other members of the organization, and they'll grow with the organization into the future. These initial expectations make up the psychological contract and form the foundation of transactional relationships between the two parties. The transactional relationship is then further established through the organization's use of contingent, or what motivational author and researcher Dan Pink refers to as if-then rewards. Contingent or if-then rewards refers to an organization's use of rewards to guide behavior by telling individuals if they perform this behavior, then they receive this reward. A transactional leadership approach to providing equitable rewards for work performed serves as a starting point to leadership, but it has limitations and challenges that need to be considered. Transactional leadership is more heavily focused on individual gains or losses rather than organizational goals. This emphasis on individuality makes it more difficult for the individual to connect their own values and goals with the organization's values and goals. This lack of cohesion with the organization's vision and values makes it harder for individuals to feel as if they're accomplishing significant goals because they don't feel connected to the organization's larger purpose. Finally, a transactional leadership environment often limits individuals' ability to innovate because they're primarily concerned with how the change may disrupt their psychological contract. Often, the desire for status quo prohibits new solutions or improvements because individuals are not sure how the change will benefit them personally, even if it will benefit the customer. If transactional leadership is rooted in the psychological contract, transformational leadership is rooted in a common vision and values between the individual and the organization. Transformational leadership utilizes passion and purpose to influence change while inspiring individuals to recognize that their individual goals of mastery, significance, and love can be accomplished simultaneously to the achievement of organizational goals. Transformational leadership tries to transform the individual through training, empowerment, and inspiration, which in turn transforms the organization's ability to better serve its customers. As expected, transformational leadership also has its own challenges. One of the challenges regarding transformational leadership is that it often overemphasizes the charismatic individual as a heroic leader, while underestimating the importance of followership within the leadership process. The greatest challenge with transformational leadership is the time, energy, and skills it requires of leaders to develop unique, trusting relationships with every follower on their team. Many organizations want the benefits of transformational leadership, but don't provide their leaders the time, training, and support they need to move past transactional leadership and toward transformational leadership. In the full lesson of 1.3 of Module 1, we develop a better understanding of the differences between transactional and transformational leadership. We understand that transactional leadership is the most common approach to leadership, but transformational leadership can increase leadership effectiveness. This lesson explores how the psychological contract serves as the basis for transactional leadership. We also look at how organizations relying on transactional leadership use the allocation of rewards to gain compliance from individuals. We highlight the challenges to transactional leadership, and we identify how transformational leadership seeks to connect individuals to the organization's vision, values, and purpose. And we finish by looking at the common challenges to transformational leadership. Thank you for being a part of our growing leadership community. We hope you'll continue your journey to deepen your understanding of life and leadership by purchasing our full lesson of 1.3. Our preview video on lesson 1.4 is free to watch and describes the content in the lesson. In lesson 1.4, we'll be learning about the critical elements present in developing effective leadership skills. Thank you for watching. See you next time.